afternoon, everyone. I've been asked to talk about where Mitel are in the marketplace right now, a number of developments we've recently introduced, and of course, as per the main topic of the day, talk about our AI offering. So this slide is probably my favorite from Mitel's marketing worldwide, really, because this discusses what Mitel are all about and the options that you as customers would have if you're a Mitel customer. What we have in the white circle in the center, that is really the engine. Okay, so the building block for the solution would, of course, be a Mitel call control platform. Then it's a case of deciding where you'd like to deploy the solution, because maybe based on your business or your preferences, even today, many customers do actually like to deploy at their own premises. Maybe it's a security concern, be that right or wrong, they're just saying they'd like to deploy on site. Equally, it could be that the customer has access to a data center right now, and many of their business applications run from there. So naturally, they'd like their telecommunications and contact center to sit within that environment, and that is perfectly fine. Equally, of course, it could be that Britannic have their own data center, and you'd like to run out of there, but that's your second choice. So choice number one, the Mitel system. Choice number two, where to deploy. One that's not shown on here, rather bizarrely, is how you'd like to purchase it. Would you like to go for a CapEx investment up front on day one, or would you like to go down the subscription route, a per user per month over a fixed term? So lots of options throughout. Naturally, as things have evolved over the years, we're now much more collaborative, and you as a customer may have a preference as to which collaboration tool you actually use. It could be you'd like to use the Mitel tool, which is absolutely great, but equally, if you're heavily invested already in, as an example, Microsoft Teams, but you'd like to hook your Mitel world up to your Teams world, we can absolutely do that. And if we do that, it means that now simply when you are within the Teams environment, as an example, should you wish to make a call, rather than using a Microsoft calling plan and an E5 license, you can actually route that call via your Mitel system. So as you can see, without clicking on every single icon, we're about choice, really. Where would you like to deploy? On-prem, in the cloud, or hybrid? You'll hear there's a lot of noise about hybrid from industry analysts out there. So you do have lots of choices. And it could be we're going down the Mitel route because you're looking to integrate into certain solutions based on the vertical you're in. Maybe it's a hospitality package. Maybe you've got a retail CRM that you'd like to hook into. Okay? Maybe it's fire alarm panels. Maybe in healthcare, we need to hook into a nurse call system. So again, other pieces of Lego to add to the puzzle. Key to the whole thing, as you can imagine, is the CX, so the customer experience solution. And we've had that for a long time, just as everyone has. Of course, historically, this would have started as voice only. That was what a contact center was. In fact, it was called a call center. But things evolved. So businesses, through their requirements and changes in technology, decided to do things like route emails into the contact center. Let's bring SMS into the contact center. And that was great for a good number of years. But as we know now, the way people work in the private life and their business life, there's a little bit of crossover in there. And what I mean by that is personal life. I may want to send Jonathan a WhatsApp message, as an example. Okay, I want to contact my kids, whoever it may well be. So now, because that's a tool that I like to use, I would like to be able to, as your customer, contact you via WhatsApp. Or I'd like to send you a Facebook direct message, because that's my preference. That's how I'm choosing to get in touch with you. So things have naturally changed, very much so. And certainly with the advent of AI and chat mechanisms, that takes it one step further. And then bottom right-hand side, you can see down there, AI ecosystem. We'll touch on just a few within there. Some are a little bit more US focused, if I'm honest with you. Okay, screens come back on. So we've got Talkative. So that is our preferred route for introducing generative AI into our contact center. In simple terms, we're talking about on your own website, you may have a chat overlay. We've all seen them in the past, I'm sure, and there'll be an option on there where I can engage with your business. I don't even know it's going to be a virtual agent behind the scenes, but the virtual agent and I can have a conversation. It's a fully secure conversation. The answers that I get as your customer are from your knowledge base. And that's very important because within your knowledge base, you've got the trusted source of data that you'd like to share with your customers. We're not going to go and randomly grab some information off the internet and kind of guess as that being the answer. So we're very secure. You can be sure that the bot is going to work exactly how you would like it to work. Other partners in the AI ecosystem down there, we've got ASC. So that is to do with our Mitel interaction recording platform. So lots of businesses, through choice or maybe regulations, they need to record telephone calls, okay? And as key part of that, of course, may be you'd like to understand what has been said on the phone. Are your staff saying the right kinds of things? Is there anything they should always say, and have they said it? Well, the only way you'd know is if you actually took time to listen to every single call to try and find out, did they say the key statement or did they miss it off? There could even be financial implications, possibly, if they didn't say that thing. So through the AI insights on the Mitel Interaction Recorder, we can get the AI to analyze this data for you automatically. Okay, so I'm not going to waste hours, days, listening to every single call. AI can prompt me to say, Andy, these phrases have been said, and they've been said a lot. These phrases haven't. So I've got a full view of what's what, but it's the AI doing the hard work for me. Okay, so we're not going to read through all the stats because many speakers, quite rightly so, have discussed some of these in there. But safe to say, the market is changing absolutely, and I would say probably 9 out of 10 customer demonstrations that I do throughout the week, the customers want to talk about AI. And the previous gentleman who was on stage mentioned it as well. Often people will say, we don't really quite know why we need to talk about AI, but we do. So it's really a case of then, again, as has been mentioned, of trying to understand what are you looking to achieve, what challenges are you looking to overcome, and why are we doing this? Naturally, it's because you want to give your customers a good experience, but equally, you want to give your staff a good experience. Because to put it into context, you know, if I'm getting lots and lots of questions coming through to me as an agent every week, and it's very repetitive, and I'm getting kind of a little bit bored of this right now, maybe I'm getting a bit, a bit frustrated. Certainly from the customer's point of view, they may not want to wait on your website. They've waited a few moments because you're really busy, which is great. But when that inquiry comes through, they've just typed a quick question, and the answer's all quite straightforward. You know, so maybe a better thing to do would be for them to self-serve. Okay, maybe the idea now is someone's on your website. They want to start asking questions, checking status of products, asking about their orders, whatever it may well be, and let them do that. It's a real key thing that you should look to introduce, potentially, because we don't want to tie up your agents in the contact center answering real straightforward questions, you know. And certainly, as you can see there, many businesses are thinking about that now. You know, the team at Britannic got a wealth of experience with this, so they could certainly talk you through the process and give you some ideas. Okay, so absolutely, everyone talks about AI right now, but you do need to ensure you're talking to the right partner. Jonathan mentioned earlier, you know, a great advocate of not just introducing technology for the sake of it. Let's understand what you're looking to do, what are you trying to achieve, what good looks like for you, and help you build that out. So certainly with the joint offering that we have with Britannic, we feel you're in a real good place there. Absolutely, of course, at the bottom, key things we're looking to do, add value to that customer experience. So let's make it an enjoyable experience. Let's ensure they can get the answers to their question in a timely manner. Let's empower the agents, supervisors and management with tools that will not only allow them to easily interact with customers, but of course give you visibility and traceability of how well the tech's working. You know, Britannic and the team can discuss your requirements and can implement it, but of course you need to know real time and in historic data how well the technology is working. How many of the chats that come into the chatbot stay within the chatbot? Can we contain the customer interaction within there and be sure we're giving them the answers they need? Or do we need to tweak things because lots of people hit the bot but ultimately still go through to an agent? So you need metrics, you need stats to be able to see what's what, and of course measure that return on investment. So very high level, because I know we had a busy day, what we're showing on the left-hand side of the screen there is an AI virtual agent. The great thing about this is, and I've got a bit of experience in other agents over the years, this is really nice and straightforward in a great way. Okay, very visual. I appreciate it's a little small on screen possibly, but we're also almost building out a flow chart really. What happens when a customer hits your website? What would you like them to see? What options would you like to give them? Where does it get the answer? Where does the bot get the answers to furnish to the customer? And ultimately, if we get to a point the bot doesn't know an answer, or the customer wants to go through to an agent, how quickly and easily is it to do? It's very, very easy. We design an overlay for the website, which displays, if you like, what's going on behind the scenes, and we're good to go there. Should that chat need to go through, so we've had a virtual chat, we've had a customer on your website, okay, they've gone through the bot, they've engaged with the bot, and for whatever reason, the inquiry needs to go through to a human agent. That's what we've got in the center of the screen. The agent would be able to see everything that the customer and the bot have discussed up until now. And of course, the customer will continue to ask questions. It may well be the customer's asked a question that the agent's not sure on, but what the agent can do is pull up a little utility in here called Navi. They can type the question that they've just been asked, and we can use a large language model of your choice to go away and find the answer. And of course, the agent can now tell the customer whatever they would need to know. I mentioned it earlier, social messaging, lots of contact centers now, maybe because they are choosing to do this, or maybe their customers have said, we'd love to be able to contact you in a different way. We need to be able to embrace those kinds of things. Probably WhatsApp being the biggest one, I would suggest. And absolutely, we can do that, of course. Okay, we can take things further. Video chat, and this is an interesting one. So it could be that Jonathan's landed on my website as a customer. Jonathan selected chat for an initial chat, and that was going wonderfully well. But ultimately, the chat interactions come through to me as an agent. If I think it's probably quicker and easier to answer Jonathan's inquiries by pivoting to a voice call, I can do that with a couple of clicks of the mouse. Jonathan doesn't need to download software or anything like so we can flip or pivot from one media type to another really, really easily. So it is absolutely a full omni-channel solution we're providing here. And then we touched on it earlier on, but one very key thing, of course, certainly when we're looking to see how efficient the virtual agents are, is having some stats. Okay, so how many interactions have we handled today? How many did we contain within the bot itself? What's the average handling time? All the good kinds of metrics. Naturally, we've had that forever and a day on voice calls, but we need it on all the new cool stuff as well. Final couple of slides, and I will speed up. I mentioned it earlier, I think. So on the Mitel interaction recording, this was where we discussed the fact that if you'd like to ensure that certain things are or are not being said by your agents, how do we measure it? Option 1, manually go through every call. Option 2, get the AI to do it for us. Tell the AI what we'd like it to find, and it will do it for you straight away. Okay, and in fact, you get a very visual representation of that. If a word has been said often, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger on the center of the screen. We can see here, just as an example, and I'm not suggesting you guys and girls would do this, but inappropriate behavior was found on there, product feedback, whatever it may well be. Okay, so very visual, very straightforward. I have a number of case studies, which we'd be happy to share with you, but the key takeaway from all of these really is that we've managed to, speed things up, get more digital engagement, get people off the phones, self-serving, using technology throughout. Okay, and summary-wise, as you can see, we can integrate with your existing Mitel contact center very quickly and easily. We can give you lots of data so you can see what's happening right now. Price-wise, we're at a good point, and more importantly of all, with the Britannic and Mitel partnership, with our experience and Britannic's wealth of experience, I think we're in a very good place. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it. I've just gone over, Jonathan, so thank you very much. But should you wish to discuss anything in any more detail, feel free to reach out to myself, Mike, or the wider team, and we'll take any questions. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.